Welcome to Peep This Out Reviews with Ian K.
Stay frosty.
Stay frosty indeed. What's going on, everybody? It's Ian K, creator. I just totally messed that up. It's Ian K, creator, producer, and host of Peep This Out Reviews. I'm excited because I am so glad to be on with you guys here right now. We've got 21 peeps in effect right now, and you're going to see a whole bunch of people filing into the chat here in just a second. Great to see you guys on here right now. Let's see who we've got in the house. Give me that thumbs up. Let me know you can hear me okay and see me okay. That's always rule number one. Although I always have everything set the same, but I'm always so self-conscious that something is going to go wrong there. So yes, the blooper to start. This is a live show. If you're catching this on the replay, you already know what it is. And great to have you guys on here right now. Shout outs to Bus Driver 7332 for doing the inaugural super chat donation to the channel. You guys definitely are going to see Bus right down over there in the corner. Should you guys wish to join the ranks of Bus and be an official sponsor of the channel, naturally, of course, you'll see yourself pop up over here, and as well as being down in the description box down below as official sponsors of the channel. You guys have a multitude of ways to do that. If you like what you see, super chat donation in the bottom of the chat box. Preferably PayPal, because that way YouTube doesn't take anything from you to do that there. But all that stuff will be found in the description box below, as well as the first pinned comment here on the replay. But guys, thank you so much for your love and support. Bus, again, thank you so much. And again, guys, great to be with you. Can you believe it is June 4th? We're exactly halfway into the year, and it is on and popping already, guys. I mean, we're really moving along. Everything, the heat is beginning to pick up. It's summertime. I'm excited for that. Let's see who we've got in the chat as always, and I'll just kind of skim around here just a bit. Let's see, we've got Ben Nguyen, Chicago Leg 20. Thank you so much for jumping on. Bus 7332, of course, DCM Entertainment in Effect, Annette Cervantes, Antonio Ramirez. I was chatting with you guys in the lobby here just a little bit. And shout outs to mi familia, as in my mom actually, who's watching right now. Mama Peeps, how you doing? How you doing? Let's see here. Let's get ready for the situation from Drew's Food Reviews. We got Bobby Caton. Thanks so much for jumping on. Erna 785, thanks again for being here, the 80s music maestro that you are. I appreciate you being here right now. Michael Domayer in effect, thanks so much for jumping on. A lot of my day ones that are in here as well. It's always an amazing situation. Happy Friday Donut Day. Of course, today is National Donut Day, but if you ask me, every day is National Donut Day. You don't need a specific day for that, but I see what they're doing. They're boosting people to jump into the donut shops. I didn't actually get one today. Had a lot going on, so I actually never made my way on over. But you know what? I can kind of feel like going over to the Donut Man pretty soon, because that actually sounds really, really good. So Bus, thank you so much for that donation. That's probably going to take care of a tiger tail here in the not too distant future. Shelly G just walked in and your son playing Call of Duty Ghosts. Said stay frosty. Perfect timing. And that was so cool when I read that, man. That is perfect timing right there. Great game, by the way, too. It's awesome stuff. Max Quintanilla, thanks so much for jumping on. You are back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got Dom's World, Tony A, in effect. All of you guys are filing in here. Let me shoot on down towards the bottom. Let's see, you guys are all saying hello in the chat here. Drew thinks I'm doing the Chiking Donut Chicken Sandwich. You guys think I'm going to be doing... I'm so chicken sandwiched out right now, I can't even tell you. Well, actually, I'm going to tell you. I just told you. I am so tired of chicken sandwiches here. So let's see who else we've got. Mr. Jimmy, mi familia. Thanks so much for jumping on, Jimmy. Davis Powers, Erna is a donut hater. Nobody really truly hates donuts. Come on now. And looks like we are catching up here. We are live. You guys can see me in effect here. Thank you so much. I'm seeing all the thumbs up. Sebasti, thank you. Let's see, Cheetos Mexican Street Corn at 7-Eleven as well. Yes, I saw the packaging for that. Looks pretty cool. Interesting, if anything there. Erna, any more pizza reviews coming up? Well, I just launched the Little Caesars one. That actually was filmed earlier in the week, and you guys have some Jack stuff coming from Jack in the Box, of course. That stuff was filmed in the middle of this current week, so I'm kind of putting the finishing touches on a few of those. So you guys have a lot to come in, looking forward to actually into this next week on top of it there. So we'll get all the Jack stuff out of the way, and then moving on into the next round of goodies, of course. So good time. So let me ask you guys, did anybody see the Edge review from Pizza Hut? Let me see a pizza here in the chat if you guys actually saw that, and then I'll start getting into a little bit of conversation about what that was all about in just a second here. Have you seen it? Did you know that Taco Bell is now serving Grande Nachos box again? Yes. It's a little bit of a kind of like, it is what it is. It's always there, every so often, every few months. DCM, peep this out. You're extraordinary because of your t-shirt. There you go, because of Wolverine. Absolutely. There's a reason for why I'm wearing this shirt right now, and it'll make sense if you're watching this on the replay, because you're going to see what I'm going to review tonight. You'll understand it when you see the replay, which is actually going to be live this coming Sunday. So what you're seeing right now will be the replay on Sunday. Tomorrow will be the first of the Jack stuff that you'll see as well. So it looks like, okay, we're getting some pizza action in there. Guys, that was a secret for about a month and a half, actually. I was working with Pizza Hut, and that was what I couldn't allude to. I couldn't even really give just a little bit of an inch with that there. But that was actually, well, I want to say back in April at this point for what that was there. And basically, this was something that was known to be coming out June 1st. They wanted to know if I wanted to produce my content like I normally do, but maybe go a little bit more, you know, with what I have going on there, maybe minus the scoring, and basically work with me on the video there. So what you saw was a really close partnership between the marketing team together, which is part of the reason that I actually put that in as a paid endorsement for that there. So naturally, because I'm always legit when I come to doing what I do here on YouTube. You guys saw that in the description box down below, as well as in the beginning of the video. But my opinion was also my own. So that was everything you saw. I mean, guys, there's no way any of those pizzas could have been bad. There really was just no way there. So a lot of fun working with the people, and shouts out to any of you guys who are watching this right now. I had a blast doing that. Thank you so much for the little gift box with the actual seasoning for the edge. This is actually the goodies here for that. And you know what? I just realized something here. Hang on one second. Hang on. I messed up on one thing. Let me fix one thing here, because I didn't take my autofocus and put it back on. So there we go. Autofocus is back. All right. So now you guys should see me a little bit clearer. So let me jump back on over here again. This is a live show after all. So now you should be able to see this stuff a little bit easier here. So it should kind of focus in just a second, hopefully. With my luck, probably not. Okay, there you go. All right, so this is actually the seasoning blend that is on all of those edge pizzas right there. A combination of like cheesy goodness, garlic, seasoning, Italians. It's really what gives it that extra pop. And they actually sent this as part of a little promo pack with a bunch of other little goodies in there as well, which is kind of cool. And they were saying you can actually cook with this pretty nicely. It's good with veggies. I have yet to open it because I really like just the way that it looks here on the inside. So I had a lot of fun working with them on that. It was a lot of fun to do, coordinating stuff, uploading video to Dropbox, reviewing things, and just it was really, really fun, I got to admit. So glad you guys enjoyed that. If you haven't checked it out already there, definitely it's on the channel right now, all 4 variants in one video. And it was just a good time, just a really, really good time. So I guess I'm considered the official brand ambassador, I guess, of Pizza Hut for certain things. So there'll be some other stuff in the future that you'll see depending upon that. But that was a nice little intro to kind of work with the team and to kind of get to know them and to really just have a lot of fun doing it there. They're a fan of my stuff. They like what I do, and they really enjoyed the product there. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you guys are watching, shouts out to you. I had a blast working with you guys. It was a lot of fun for that. Let's see, going down the line, let me see here. Yes, I still had the Erna. I still had the long hair in that review. That was actually shot, I want to say, towards the end of the 2nd week of May. So that was filmed way, way back in May, and then it came out June 1st. I was sitting on that for June 1st to release that there. So very, very hard, because I would watch it occasionally. I wanted to make sure to fine tune to make sure everything, the pacing and everything was good. But that was the reason why you saw that I had, like, all of a sudden my longer hair was back, is the time to shoot that. But it was good. It was definitely good. Let's see here. Davis Powers says he's edging. It was good times. Let's see. Going down, going down. Have you seen it? Why did Taco Bell not sell the double triple crunch wrap last year in 2020 near the end of the year? I'm sure that'll be back. I'm sure they'll do it again. I'm sure they will. That's usually one of the mainstays, and obviously it's the crunch wrap. How could you not? Claw and Go, any plans for the 4th of July? Nothing just yet. Nothing just yet. But as everything is getting back to normal, Los Angeles and California, I should say, is opening back up fully June 15th. We'll see how that goes for the first few weeks naturally there, but it'll be interesting to see how this goes. You're just kind of baby stepping in. You know, just because things are quote unquote opening up and getting back to normal doesn't mean that things truly are just yet, if you know what I mean. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. Seba says, I haven't checked, didn't talk too much about the sauce on that. You know what? It really was just pretty much the standard type of sauce that Pizza Hut is known for. The main thing was the seasonings and the way the combinations of everything of the toppings on there, from edge to edge, and primarily the seasoning blend to go with that there. That was the main thing. But tasty stuff. I mean, guys, high quality pizza. What you heard me talk about that was my own opinions. I wasn't directed one way or another to say anything outrageous about it. They didn't say specifically. They just said just do what you do normally there. Just give your honest, unbiased opinion of it. And that's pretty much what I did. So, but it was good. It was really, really good. Definitely dug it. Drew, Ian is the Pizza the Hut man. There you go. Let's see. Going down the line. Jay Nepper, what's going on, my friend? Thanks so much for jumping on. I'm here on a phone call, so I can't hear you. No worries. You're probably going to catch this on the replay, especially in the very beginning, if anything. But thanks so much for jumping on to Jay. Erna, Annette, did you check out Katy Perry's new song, Electric? Wondering if you saw the clip and heard that song yet. You guys are chatting away. Good times. Traffic is back to normal, says Bus 733. Yeah, I've noticed that. I've definitely noticed that. It's been kind of nutty. It's definitely been kind of nutty. Tyler James, wish we had these places in Canada and can't come across the border down COVID. Yep, once everything gets back to normal, I think we'll see a little bit more people kind of slipping back in there as well. Let's see here. Did Taco Bell not sell it last year? You know, I couldn't say. I'm pretty sure that, like I said, that with the schedule of everything being what it is, I'm sure that's part of the reason. I'm pretty sure that's part of the reason. Sammy, and I can actually make it too. Let's see here. Davis Powers, what's the tea? Sis? What is that all about? Cindy Duran, have you been up to the Northern California and checked out Pizza My Heart? I have not. I have not been able to travel anywhere out of the area, nor do I wish to at the moment. So hopefully I'd like to get to doing some stuff like that. It'd be a lot of fun. Absolutely. Erna, sending lots of love on your streams. You're always great. Thank you, Erna. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm very humbled and grateful to be able to do this stuff with you guys, and especially to spend a little bit of the time that we have on Friday nights, which is kind of cool. So I always kind of carved out my time frame here, usually between 8 and 9, usually on Fridays. So it's always a blast to meet up with you guys and kind of connect that way as things are getting more chaotic and content is still being produced. Right when May ends, I go right into June because of the stuff and the scheduling that I have. So definitely it's a blast to do. That's part of the reason this year feels like it's flying by for me. It always feels like I'm always running ahead there, producing. Let's see. Tony A says 50 peeps in here. Let's give those thumbs up there. I appreciate that. Thank you. Polo, I should try Haitian or Jamaican food. That would be something. That would be something to do once things are maybe more fully open to go do some things there. And Jay can now finally hear me. Awesome. Jay, thanks so much for being here. I appreciate you. Ed Keaton in effect as well. Thanks so much for jumping on. Awesome. Bus, how's the wifey doing? She's good, actually. She's been very busy. Again, getting back to normal naturally with the event planning biz that she has for the Blushing Details. She's actually, I think I kind of hear her coming in right now, actually, but she's been gone on site visits and doing a bunch of things today for sure. So we'll be catching up a little bit later on. Cindy Duran, what's an X-Men meal? Anything they want. Anything they want. Klon Go, the Ch'King review. I've already done all 3 variants of that and simply just changed the name. That's exactly the same stuff that's out right now. If you take a look at my reviews from BK, you'll find the Ch'King logo plastered on each of them there, and I've retrofitted a few of the titles and some of the, some of the metadata and everything for that video, so you'll see it there. BK actually replied to one of my videos today saying that that I said that particular, the Ch'King slaps, because BK is pretty rough with it like that. They're pretty hip with it. So it was kind of cool to see that, I noticed there. So kind of cool. Ali Rios, Reese's goes organic. That is just not cool. You got to have the real deal. Ed Keaton, thanks so much for the super chat donation. It's popping in there. I'm seeing this just a little late here for some reason because I'm watching the chat here, but thank you so much, Ed. You guys all so far, we've got Ed Keaton, Erna, and Bus as official sponsors of the channel tonight. Thank you so much, you guys. Of course, you're going to find your names down below as official sponsors, of course. A little goes a long way. I appreciate you guys as well. You guys know that. Anthony Guzman, happy June to you as well. How do you feel about BK's hand-breaded chicken sandwich that went nationwide yesterday? I got to admit, it's probably some of the best competitive type of chicken sandwiches out there compared to the Popeye one. I think it looks very similar to Popeye's. The thickness is there. I would probably rank Popeye's obviously as the first one there, and then along with KFC and then BK together. The spicy variant of the Ch'King, I got to tell you, that name is starting to kind of grow on me just a little bit, is awesome. I like it better than the classic. I think it's just a better product. I'm more excited to try the chicken parm version of that. I know that's going to be coming at some point. And I'm all over it as soon as it does. That sandwich alone, I remember just the regular upgraded chicken they had then was so amazing. But when you have a freshly breaded, you know, hand breaded chicken sandwich done that way with the mozzarella cheese melted and that, you know, obviously the tomato sauce, I can't wait for that. But easily, BK is really rocking with it. It's really a pretty tasty sandwich. I've heard a few mixed things about the actual breading from some people. I didn't notice anything of being above and beyond, you know, if it was bland, if it had a little bit more over seasoned, but from what I had was pretty tasty. I mean, the chicken was juicy, but the spicy variant was banging there. The deluxe version, not so much. It could have been just the one that I got. If you've seen my review, you probably know. But yes, the Popeyes one is legendary, we all know. But it's great to have competition because competition, you know, breeds choice, and naturally it makes content available for people like myself to review and the rest of the foodie community as well. Let's see, there's no such thing as an X-Men meal from Carl's Jr. I was pranking y'all from DCM. So DCM started that. Okay, all right, no worries, no worries. Just like I always say, there's no X menu over at In-N-Out, but I did that review with Joey's World Tour a few years back, and we did the X menu for the 5x5, which is the XX, you know, that type of thing there. Jay Nepper, it's a super chat donation again. Chicken parm. I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to it, Jay. I know it's going to be coming eventually. They're going to redo all of those sandwiches again with the hand-breaded goodness. I'm going to have to re-review them with the fresh goodness there. So we're probably going to see a Rodeo King, a Rodeo Chiking. I think everything is going to be rebranded. Watch. And basically, it makes more content for the channel. But I totally agree with that. And again, Jay, thank you so much for that super chat donation. As well as being one of my patrons. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Trav, jumping in there. I'll sponsor the cause because Ian is not. I appreciate that. Trav, doing it up big right there, brother. Checked out your Edge review as well, too, there. It was really just something delicious to try, right? I mean, you know, you can't go wrong with what that was. And I love that trash emoji right there. Basura. Oh, it's awesome. Trav Tries doing it big over in his channel as well. Guys, of course, jump on over to a lot of these awesome people that you're seeing here in the chat. Naturally, we've got Trav Tries, Drew's Food Reviews. There's plenty of other amazing content creators that may be popping in here. We'll probably see the Trips at some point. Jackie Hero Food Reviews as well. Critical Eats Japan. All the amazing peeps that you've seen in the community throughout the years and who continue to do it positively on the daily that are just really pumping it out. It's just really, really awesome stuff. Really, really great. But let's see here. What are you eating today? We're about to find out because in about 5 minutes, I'm going to have to go get it actually because I'm keeping it warm at the moment here. ScottRush.com. I'm excited for the chicken parm too. So am I. I'm telling you, it's long overdue and I would not be surprised if that's one of the next ones. I'm excited. I am very excited for that. Sammy, when is it going to be adding a new chicken sandwich soon? It's going to be a prototype, but if I heard workers, I heard it's Honey Bacon Chicken Club. Cool, 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 cool. I have no doubt they're going to be doing some different variations over there too, Sammy. Definitely some good stuff over there. Stupid Food Review Show. Jesus in a Tortilla, aka JIAT. Jesus in a Tortilla. Yes, I think that's what it is. He says, I think Burger King will keep the old school chicken patty. You know, it's still on the menu for my local BK, actually, at least a variation of it. So I think depending upon the type of chicken sandwich, I think that may go a long way. But you know, we'll have to see. But BK, they really have a pretty rock solid chicken sandwich. The McDonald's one is kind of boo-boo still. I mean, it's okay, but it's really more of kind of the competitor to Chick-fil-A for that size and what they're trying to go for there. They're not going for that huge, overly breaded style, which I'm a fan of. I mean, I love that. You know, for me, the Church's variant's pretty good, although it's a little bit smaller, but the quality is good. But Popeyes, KFC, and BK are the kings right now when it comes to that situation. I'm down with it. I'm totally down with it. Ali Rios, Baskin Robbins has green slime lemon flavor. Yes, I saw that. I saw that. Good stuff there. Good stuff. Sammy says BK has a really big menu. They do. And they have a lot of great promos in the apps too, which is pretty awesome. A lot of good things if you take a look at the, and obviously they have a new reward program too right now. I think it's like these crown points or something like that. Pretty cool. Definitely pretty cool. So let's see here. Guys, A Quiet Place Part 2 is out. I'm really itching to go watch that at the same time in the theater, even though things are slowly getting back to normal. I haven't been to a movie in a long time, and that one I really want to watch. I enjoyed the heck out of that, the first one there. And then naturally, I think The Conjuring, the third Conjuring movie is out too. There's a lot of good stuff out right now. And obviously it's going to be, I think, on demand in like a month for people that are not quite coming out there yet. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Larry Nguyen, sorry I'm late, just got home from the gym. No worries, man. Fitness, fitness, fitness. I'm all about it. Absolutely. Do what you got to do for sure. Maintain that level and that balance, and it's all good. Because naturally, you've got the replay available if you're catching this on a Sunday right now after 12. Let's see here. Klon Go, have you gotten a PlayStation 5 out? Yeah, I remember someone asking a few months ago. Haven't gotten a PS5. Have no need to buy one of those just yet because there is nothing really worth, like, honestly, I really got to play. I got to have it right now, with the exception of Resident Evil Village. But honestly, there's really not too much difference in terms of, you know, maybe resolution for, you know, the games, because they're kind of cross-platforming over to the older ones. So until they have something specific where it's only for that, I'll probably plunk down. And I'm still waiting for that redesign because, like I said, the thing is just too big. They all start out that way, and then eventually they get smaller. So we'll have to see. Drew says the BTS meal chicken nugget sandwich tonight. No, Drew. You already know. You already know. Let's see. What would be a peep this out meal for McDonald's? Wow, I'd probably say maybe a triple quarter pounder with cheese, to be honest, with a special sauce. Because, I mean, I love a double quarter pounder with cheese, but an extra layer of meat would be pretty awesome. Maybe instead of fries, I would do a 6-piece McNugget with a specially formulated sauce to go with that, and a large Arnold Palmer, half iced tea, half lemonade. Something truly different. That sounds pretty good. So a triple quarter pounder with cheese with a special type of sauce, maybe like a mac sauce, maybe something like that, and a 6-piece McNugget with a specially formulated sauce specifically for that, and then an Arnold Palmer, half iced tea, half lemonade situation. And I would still review it, just so you know. Bus, wifey wants Donut Man now, so I'll have to watch the replay. No worries. Enjoy that tiger tail. Enjoy it. And a Bus, again, thank you for that super chat donation. I appreciate you for sure. I might be hitting that place up here very, very soon because it's on my mind as well as mi familia's mind as well. So absolutely. Jay Nepper, Netflix Jupiter's Legacy got canceled. Yes, I haven't watched it, and I was actually planning to, but then they obviously, I heard they canceled it on a cliffhanger still, Jay. I think that's the thing there with that. So hopefully that'll find new life on another network, maybe like Hulu or some of these other places there, because, you know, naturally I think they had a lot more planned with that there. So I think it's a Robert Kirkman thing, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I could be. But I know that I just saw the news report on that, Jay, and that's just not cool. Not cool. It looked pretty cool, actually. The show looked cool. What happened to them wasn't cool. Dom's World, Halloween Kills, coming out in October. Yes, I am excited. It's a year late. And Anthony Michael Hall keeps posting little blurbs occasionally on his IG story, and I'm always following what he's up to, and I can't wait. I can't wait. And that triple quarter pounder with cheese, that's insane, but I'd eat it. Absolutely. I'm telling you right now. Oh, and did I mention it still needs to be the fresh beef, naturally, because you know that's going to be a saucy, sweet, saucy, wet situation of meaty goodness. You guys are going to rip that apart, I'm sure. But yes, I would do that there. Erna, super chat donation jumping in. Who knows? Christopher, Lady in Red is dancing with me. Yes, I think I know that song at least. See how many in the chat know it. Jay Nepper, want to do something off the chain? Get a chicken with dousing it with Chick-fil-A sauce from the bottle. Oh, man. Time to mash it up. Bam. That actually sounds amazing. And speaking of amazing, there goes Ernest 785 right over here on Effect Staying Frosty for Super Chat. That actually sounds pretty awesome. I can imagine the Chick-fil-A sauce. I haven't seen that at my local Walmart, but then again, I haven't really kind of gone to kind of look for that. I've run in for things that we'll have to see. But Mr. Jimmy, okay, we're going to make a peep this out McDonald's meal and blow it up on social media for exposure. Just tag McDonald's, see what they say. A triple quarter pounder with cheese, a 6-piece chicken McNugget with a formulated sauce, and an Arnold Palmer iced tea. That would be something truly, truly amazing. Truly amazing. Let's see here. Sammy, got a quarter pounder and they oversalted your burger. Whoa, I hope you took it back and had them make it right. That's always rule number one if you're not happy with something there. Max, I have a quarter pounder before. I have McDonald's quarter pounder before. Never had a quarter pounder before, or have you had a quarter pounder before? I have a feeling it's never. I have a feeling. Ed, yes, I saw the blurb on the Indiana Jones 5, actually, starting in the UK next week. There's certain little quote-unquote set pieces that are leaking where I think it was a castle, where I think that they're going to be filming a sequence there, which actually should be pretty cool. If you guys know anything about the lore of Indiana Jones, there was something that was supposed to be written in the script regarding some of these nobles fighting back in the day that actually took place later in the Last Crusade. Towards the end of it, they kind of talked about it. That would be kind of cool if they kind of revisit some of that and add that in there. So that's supposedly what I was reading, that Spielberg was recycling some of that because he's a producer on Indiana Jones 5. He's just not directing it for the first time. So we'll have to see. Krispy Kreme has a new pina colada donut. Yes, I've seen some of their island stuff that's out there as well. Interesting stuff there. Interesting stuff. John Chern, ABC Interview and Career Prep. What's going on? Thanks so much for jumping on. Appreciate you being on here right now. Pollo Campero in your area. Ali, you know what? I haven't seen one, but there is actually a Pollo Loco competitor, but it's more local. I can't think of the name of what it is. I think it's actually El Pollo Unico, I think is the name. It's here in Pasadena. But the other one, Pollo Campero, I don't know of anything local to my area there. Not to say it's not somewhat close by. I just don't know if it's out this way. Annette, how much would the McDonald's E&K meal be, though? I'd probably say I would probably want to attach like an instant dollar donation to like a good cause. Maybe like kind of like feeding the hungry, or, you know, No Kid Hungry or something like that. So, I mean, the average meal is like $7.99, $8.99 for a lot of these promo meals. So I'd probably want to price it in that range and have at least $1 of every sale goes towards a good cause for what that would be there. So I would definitely want to make it worth your while. If I'm going to make my own type of meal, it has to have a component that's going to make somebody benefit from it there. Not just Mickey D's, naturally, but naturally an organization or something to benefit others. I think that would be kind of cool. If you guys agree with that, give me the thumbs up here in the chat if you think that's a good idea. And then it's pretty soon I'm going to be jumping on over to grab my review item here, because it's coming up to that time. And I know you guys want to know what it is. And I'm curious to know how it's going to be, considering I've been keeping it warm. So we'll see what happens. California, Sammy, how much does a Baconator medium meal cost you? It's closer to like the $8 or $9 range. Ballpark, Sammy, for us over here. Ernest says a thumbs up. There we go. Ed Keaton, James Manigold, the guy who directed Logan, is directing Indy 5. Yes, I can't wait for that. He knows characters. He knows story. I can't wait for it. There we go. We're getting a whole bunch of them in there. Drew says it should be 666. No. Maybe if it comes out around Halloween time, we can do a Halloween theme version of that. I'd love to maybe like work with Mickey D's on a black bun variant like BK and do something completely off the wall. That would be cool. All right, guys, let me jump and go grab the item really quick right here. You guys talk amongst yourselves. $8.69, Mr. Jimmy. I would say ballpark in that range. Yes, probably like 80 or so bucks. There we go. In there as well. Tony A says, I would definitely peep that meal out. That's awesome. I would love to do something like that. Like I said, I think it'd be a lot of fun. And would really just manage just putting in, you know, literally just doing a sauce, you know, doing a special type of sauce. So that's the thing I'd probably have to think about. What type of sauce would it be? But it would probably want to be something brand new, naturally, and not just typical chicken McNugget sauces that we see, right? All right, very cool. We got a bunch of thumbs up. If you guys create that and put that on social media and tag McDonald's and me, that would be amazing. If that comes to fruition, it happened tonight, right here, June 4th on the stream. All right, let me jump on over here real quick. We're going to do a fast intermission. Let me get the goodies. And I love you guys. You already know what it is. Stand by. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. And we are back. There we go. That's going to refresh in just a second over here. Great to have you guys back in effect here right now. Hang on one second. Looks like it is getting caught up. Actually, it should be getting caught up in just a second here. Hopefully. There we go. Davis Powers. I guess it has to, once you guys start typing in, that's when it's going to do its thing right there. Okay. We are back in effect for round 2 for the second leg of the show tonight. Great to see you back over here. Erna, what's your meal, Ian? I didn't actually eat anything just yet. Afterwards, after this. Let's see. Drew says I should work it In and Out and make a meal there too. That would be pretty awesome. That would be pretty awesome. It would. It really would. Tony A, I think the type of sauce that would be perfect with the meal would be a mix of Ian's favorite sauces and, of course, calling it Ian sauce. I'd probably want to do, well, my little Peep This Out character's name is Little Ike. So we'll have to consider a name for the sauce in that range there. But you guys got me curious now to formulate something, if anything there. I'm not going to make a video like I'm going to pretend to have my meal. I don't do that type of thing. But it would be cool to do something like that. Jay Nepper, a ghost taco shell from Taco Bell. I'd love to see like a white taco shell. That would be kind of cool. You know, I'm still waiting. Hopefully this year they come out with that midnight. I think it was a midnight taco that I did like 3 years ago at this point now, which was a blue corn shell. But it actually, because of all the meat that was on the inside, it made like kind of the shell purplish. It was totally a Halloween taco for sure. Take a look at the Taco Bell playlist here. I think it's the Midnight Melt Taco is what it was called. That was actually some awesome situation right there. All right, you guys ready for this review? If you're ready for this review, give me a number 1 here in the chat. I'm going to make it easy for you. Give me number 1. Let me know you guys are ready for action to check it out here, because this is going to be the start of what you guys are going to be seeing for the weekend, and most likely on Monday after Saturdays, and then this one, and then Monday in effect there as well too there, because I figured, you know what, something like this is I'd want to do this on the stream, because to make a product strictly for this, I figured, you know what, let me just, you know, do this on the stream, because I'm kind of curious about how this is going to go. So just so you guys know, as I'm getting myself set up over here, Jack in the Box has launched a bunch of things this last week here naturally. My Jack in the Box actually launched theirs, I want to say, supposed to be on the 3rd, and my contact actually was a bit earlier than that. So actually, wow, something just exploded outside, whatever that was. Whoa, you guys hear that? I don't know what that was. Maybe getting ready for 4th of July. Who knows? But anyway, so Jack's launched a whole bunch of stuff this past week naturally there. And June 3rd was the official release for it there. But this stuff came out actually a couple of days prior. So I've already been putting my stuff together. So you guys are going to start seeing it tomorrow. And then most likely into the Monday time frame. Because this is going to be the replay that you're going to see on Sunday. So it's going to be all connected. Oh, the lights are going on out there. That's kind of crazy. I don't know what's happening there. And that says UFO? Who knows? Erna, don't bring that up. Bad stuff. Okay, so obviously I've already let the cat out of the bag. I've been keeping something warm from Jack in the Box here, and I'm very curious to give this a shot, because the smell instantly, I was like, wow, I think this is going to be something very similar to what I had not that long ago, because the smell is familiar, but it's a dessert type of thing. So for those of you who don't know, today is National Donut Day, and I thought about doing something like that, but instead I decided to go with these chocolate croissant bites. And this is kind of a new thing, and if you take a closer look at that, you can get these in a 3-piece or a 6-piece. And basically what it is, they bill it as a flaky croissant. And wow, these things are kind of warm right now. They feel really nice in the hand. Let me just try and get comfortable to show you guys what you're looking at here. This is very reminiscent of an egg roll to me. Now, if you guys don't know, Jack has amazing egg rolls, and they look very similar to this. But naturally, the size is okay. It's definitely smaller than the beignets over at Popeyes, and I'm actually okay with that, because these don't have powdered sugar on them, so I wasn't disappointed as soon as I saw these, like I did with the beignets for Popeyes. But what we've got here is a flaky phyllo dough type of croissant shell, and it's made with real Hershey's chocolate on the inside. So while it's not necessarily a donut per se, I'm trying to keep that focus because of my lighting just a bit, trying to catch it, it's very reminiscent of their egg rolls. And that says Popeyes beignets are amazing. I have yet to try them when they are amazing. I did not like that review, I got to be honest. and that it was a no bueno situation. But I wanted to do this one really quick just to kind of see, and you guys will talk about what the reviews are that'll be coming up for Jack that you'll see starting tomorrow. But again, real Hershey's cocoa on the inside of these here, and a nice flaky croissant. I mean, these are very buttery here right now. There's no dipping sauce. There's nothing to dip into. No sweet and sour sauce, Drew, if anything there. But they're fried up and crispy. I gotta tell you, I waited in the drive-thru for a little bit with this. They made these fresh, and this is, I want to say these are about maybe 40 minutes old now by this point, maybe. Well, shortly before the stream, actually, to keep these warm. But let's give this a shot, guys. It's the croissant, the chocolate croissant bites, I think they're called. 3-piece, $1.99, not horrible. It's like $1 more, I think, to get the 6 or something like along those lines. I probably should have gotten maybe the 6, but this is just a taste just to kind of check it out. I want to keep showing you the texture of it here. Let's give it a shot, guys. It's the all-new chocolate croissant bites, Jack in the Box. Let's give it a shot. Mmm. Mmm. Whoa. Yeah. Wow. Let me show this to you guys. Oh, almost lost it. There is plenty of chocolate in this. Guys, look at that. That is a lovely situation right there. Trying to keep that. A good thing I have something beneath my my laptop here right now. These are pretty banging and fairly fresh too, considering I've been keeping these warm. The chocolate, oh yeah, wow. It is a straight melted piece of Hershey's chocolate on the inside of this right now. Look at that. That is pretty banging right there. Really, really good. These are filled very nicely. I knew it right away when I bit into it. And then naturally, this is really filled beautifully here. If you guys remember, the Popeyes beignets had like nothing in them. There was nothing really in them. It didn't have any powdered sugar on the outside. It was completely whack. This is pretty impressive, guys. And they have the official name of Hershey's attached to this right now. Mmm. Wow. I'm getting vibes of the egg roll on the outside, though. So the flakiness is actually really good. The butteriness is pretty nice as well. And the overall sweetness, I mean, it's milk chocolate. I mean, dark chocolate's a little bit more bitter to me. This actually has a very nice flavor right there. And just to kind of squeeze this, to kind of bring this in, they're loaded pretty nicely. Really, really pretty nicely, guys. These are pretty impressive. I have to admit, Jack really does it up with their side items. When it comes to a lot of the items on their menu, their main promo items are a little bit up and down, depending upon the burgers, that type of thing, as you're probably going to see in the near future here. Not to say to give you any spoilers or anything, but when it comes to the side items with this, this is very reminiscent of their egg rolls and just in terms of the texture, but it really feels like it is croissant in flavor. That's the really kind of like, I can describe it that way to you. But with the munchie meals, with the munchie varieties that they have, it's like the $4 deal I did with the mac and cheese bites, all those little munchie variety packs, they really do pretty nice. And again, the quality is really, really good on this right now. So chocolate jalapeno poppers, that would be pretty amazing right there, Jay. Honestly, yeah. What it do, Kyle Broussard? Great to see you on there. Ernest says, let me guess, 8 out of 10. Nope, no 8 out of 10 on this one here. Quality wise, I gotta say, I mean, had I actually eaten these right out of the oven, they would have been maybe just a little bit more crispier, because I actually had these in the oven here at home, just kind of keeping them warm at the same time. But I'd probably say maybe like an 8.3. I mean, it's really elevated above. It's way above average. The quality is nice. $2 for like 3 of these as like a quick snack just to try. I would definitely rock this again. A 6-piece maybe a little bit overkill. If you're maybe with somebody to share them, you know, that's going to be the better value. But guys, the quality is pretty nice on this. And again, trying to keep that focus there. Like I said, very reminiscent of their egg rolls for the outer coating, but with that official name brand chocolate that it comes with there. So pretty banging. Man. And that thing literally, it's like it squirts. The chocolate is really nice in that. I'm pretty impressed. Wow. All right. Ali Rios, what about the triple cheese bacon burger from Jack in the Box? Just wait. Wow. Really, really good. I'm glad that I checked these out here. I'm going to have the wifey try one or the other too. But again, quality-wise, Really, really nice. And naturally, I wanted to keep these warm by keeping them on some tin foil on the inside of the oven. I didn't want them in the bag here because they're going to get all greasy. But quality-wise, pretty good. The name brand Hershey's chocolate that it's known for as well, too, there. And again, just really, really good quality. And the size, it's fairly decent. I would say maybe just a little bit smaller than the beignets from Popeyes, but these deliver. I mean, they really deliver. That actually had Hershey's cocoa in that as well, too, supposedly, but there was like nothing in them. If you guys haven't seen my review of the Popeyes beignets, I haven't had a good experience with those at all. And again, I haven't gotten them again since. But at the same time, I was completely underwhelmed. Spoiler alert, it was pretty bad. These I would definitely rock again, especially with the wifey or if I'm just out with some friends. I would definitely rock this. This is really pretty tasty, pretty tasty. So 8.3-ish or so. I won't go up to like the 8.5. I mean, it's a tasty snack. And like I said, it's a quality little side dessert item from good old Jack. Pretty tasty. Pretty tasty. Ali Ria says she can't wait. That's a fun review. That's all I'm gonna say. What you're gonna see in that, especially for what it is. So good times coming up there with the bacon cheesy Jack. Good times. It pays when you get this stuff done earlier in the week. You don't have to stress too much about just putting in the schedule just to release it. That's the fun part about it. So you guys have some good stuff coming your way, for sure. So glad to have done an official fast food item tonight. No chips. My mom is like, you know what, maybe lay off the chips for a while, you know, so that way, you know, because we all know the bags are going to be half empty. It's going to be what it is. It's either cheesy, it's either spicy, it's either crunchy, or all of the three, or some of the three. Good to do something a little bit different with that. Good times indeed. All right, let me jump back into the chat over here, see what I may have missed. Let's see. Erna says she was so close. Oh, the score, for the score. Carson. Actually, Adrian, how you doing there? Carson, have you ever eaten at Fat Sal's Deli in Hollywood? Yes, I have actually. A long time ago. I want to say maybe a couple of years ago at this point. Yeah, it's probably been a couple of years now. Let's see. Ben Nguyen, tomorrow is my first time I eat a Jack in the Box, and I don't know which item is the best. You know, the ultimate cheeseburger is always the a classic favorite there. I know it's my mom's favorite. It's just a really, really good cheeseburger. Have them make sure they cook it up fresh for you, which they pretty much do with all their stuff there. It really is good stuff. And Ed says, I need to try the beignets again. I don't know. Like I said, you only get the one chance to make a first impression. You don't get a second chance to make a first impression. So, you know, I don't like to re-review or do certain things like that. So we'll have to see. Warrang, have I tried the new Jack Roost fries? I sure have. Let's see. Drew. Stuffed pepperoni cheese and Hershey's chocolate pizza. I'd love to see a dessert pizza of some type. That'd be kind of crazy. Michael, too bad there's not a Jack in the Box anywhere near me in Detroit. Yeah, they're a little sporadic in the east, like the Midwest or towards the East Coast. There are some places that have it, but I think there's actually a place called Jack's, if I'm not mistaken. It's not the same thing, but I've seen something like that. Mr. Jimmy, Mama Peeps is right. Yes, and I will try and lay off the chips for a while. Erna, your mom really cares for you. Yes, she does. And I care for her. She's the mom. She's Mama Peeps. Let's see. Annette says she likes the egg and cheese sausage croissants to Ben. Very nice. Larry Nguyen, skip my comment. What did you say? Let me see here. I don't see anything from you here, Larry. Try and put it back in there. Maybe just retype it. I'm all caught up over here, so we should be okay right now. Jay, have you ever tried a drop the Annie's Thin Mint into the bottom of your coffee? No, that sounds amazing, actually. That actually sounds pretty amazing. And you don't even drink coffee, and that's a bomb situation right there, Jay. I can imagine what that does. Remember those York Peppermint Patty commercials from back in the day where like they would take a bite of something and you'd see like a blast of snow or like frost or something like that? That's the impression that I'm getting that you probably get from something like that. But I can imagine the minty flavor. And I'm not a super fan of mint. Certain things I can deal with, but that actually sounds really good. It really does. Drew, can you sing happy birthday to Ziggy? He's 9 years old today. Ziggy, this is not the cat that you cut, right? I mean, no cat cutting whatsoever or nug stealing when it comes to Freddy Foodie King, right? But absolutely, Ziggy. That's a cute cat. I'm telling you, they are definitely some really, really sweet animals that you have over there, Drew. So I'll definitely do that for you guys. And while I'm doing that, if you guys can drop some birthday cakes right over here in the chat, that would be awesome. Ziggy is 9 years old, and that's officially 9 years old, not like in cat years. I mean, dog years is 7 years for 1 year, right? So cats, I think it's just straight 9. So he's still an adolescent right there, coming up on that. But real quick, absolutely there. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Ziggy. Meow, meow. Happy birthday to you. I don't know where that meow came from, but a very happy birthday to Ziggy. Absolutely there. I know that he pretty much sleeps during your streams when you're doing your stuff late night. But that's awesome. That is awesome right there. Wow, I think the chat is stuck on one side. I don't know what happened there, but it is not refreshing itself. So I think what I'm going to do... You're welcome, Drew. You're welcome. There we go. We got Trav jumping in there with the cake emoji and the cat emojis. There we go. Jumping in. Okay, now let me see. You know what? I'm going to jump over to the standby screen, and then we're going to swing on back to see if we can reset the chat over here. So that way you guys can see the goodies over there. Hang on one second. All right. Hopefully that'll reset. There we go. There we go. See? I got to take care of my people. I got to take care of my people. I know you guys like seeing the stuff that you're writing over here. I want to make sure I can see it too. Review some ramen rice. That actually sounds amazing. Do a KFC review? I think I just saw somebody say do a KFC review. I have done a bunch of KFC reviews. Tons of KFC reviews. Let's see here. Hang on. Me catching up. Real Kimmy, can you give Kimmy a shout out? I love KFC. Shout outs to Kimmy. Let's peep this out. You already know what it is. KFC is what it is. It's the Kentucky Fried Chicken. It is the chicken of the Kentucky Fried, and their sandwich is bomb, especially the spicy variant. The spicy variant of most chicken sandwiches usually is the better of whatever version that they have, right? So if you've got McDonald's, you have the spicy crispy chicken sandwich. You have Popeye's spicy chicken sandwich, KFC's spicy KFC chicken sandwich. If you guys agree with that, give me a fire emoji here in the chat right now, because like the regular stuff is okay, but the spicy of anything tends to be just the better product. It just tends to be. Pepsi Blue is back, says Ali Rios. Yes, I still haven't seen it in my stores though. That's the only thing. Ed Keaton, great review as always. I have to go and get some sleep. I appreciate you jumping on here, Ed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A bit of a headache. Cold compress and definitely ice cube in the mouth, because that's what freezes that nerve on the top of your mouth, which goes straight up. That'll help you right there. Hopefully that does its thing for you then. Again, Ed, thanks so much for jumping on right now. Fire emojis everywhere. Absolutely. All right, guys, so let's talk about a Little Caesars action. That was filmed a few nights ago, and I got to admit, how bad can a cheese stuffed crust be? Especially when you add pepperoni into the mix. If you guys haven't seen that review yet, obviously it is up on the channel. Good stuff. Really, really good stuff on that. I did that way back in the day when it was the stuffed crust deep dish pizza, where they did pretty much the pepperoni like rolled up in the back of it as well with the cheese. Then the extra most bestest, which was the regular stuffed crust. So naturally, adding more pepperoni into the back, it was a total grease pit of deliciousness, of course. But good times on that, guys. Good times indeed. So, I mean, how bad could that really be? I mean, Little Caesars always reinvents the wheel with their stuff, and they make something extra most bestest something. So it's always great to see that. But it was really good. Really good. Larry, the new Little Caesars pepperoni and cheese stuffed crust. Yes, you already know. Good times. Good times. Good times. Yeah, you can't go wrong with cheese. You really can't. And honestly, that was so decadent to dive into. And it was so much fun to do that at night as well. I think that's why I love doing pizza reviews at night. You may have noticed a little bit of a trend when I do them. Most of the ones that I've done there, only because I love the way the oils and the cheeses glisten off the light at night. I have so much fun filming in general anyway. But whenever I do that in the car at night, it's always so much fun. But it's a challenge, though. I got to be honest with you. It's not easy filming pizza in the car, so I try and do as good as I can with it. But I got to be honest, doing the 4 pizzas in my car when I did the Edge, that was a blast to do. I had no idea, just so you know, I was going to be receiving 4 pizzas when they sent that. Thought it was going to be just one variant to try, but 4 of them showed up, and I'm like, all right, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do with this exactly, and that's pretty much how that happened. So, but good times, definitely good times. Let's see, Charles Rizzo. I've been a subscriber since I was less than 4,000 subscribers. Keep it up. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We're coming up so close to 34,000 subs right now. It's crazy. There's growth every single day, and I'm grateful for all of it. Any of it and all of it, naturally, as all creators who make content do. But just such a good times. Just such a good times. Erna, you should try veggie pizza with stuffed crust. I did the veggie version, I think it was, of the Extra Most Bestest when they had like all the toppings that you can do. They were calling Extra Most Bestest is like the main thing across their product line. So take a look at the veggie one, but I can see some extra cheese action with that. That would be pretty good. That would. Dom says stuffed crust pizza is the best. It is. It's so satisfying when you bite into that and you taste all that cheese. I mean, it's delicious stuff. Delicious stuff. Have you seen I think the regular kind is also great too, but even so, I still think the spicy variant almost always beats it. Yes, and you know, it's true. And nothing against the regular versions of chicken sandwiches in general. I just think that some places just do it better when it comes to the spicy. For me personally, I love the Mardi Gras mustard sauce on whenever I get like a classic Popeyes chicken sandwich. I'll have them leave off the mayo and I'll add some Mardi Gras mustard to make my own thing, which is awesome. But their spicy one is banging anyway. So if you get the spicy variant, add the Mardi Gras mustard to that, and it's just like overload. It's so delicious. So delicious. And that, they need to come out with chicken Alfredo and spaghetti or something like that. That would be interesting. That would be. There's a lot of different variations of pizzas that they're test marketing, which I'm sure we'll see. Maybe even some desserts at some point there. We'll have to see as well. Michael Domeyer, a 9-year-old cat is 52 years old in human years. So what? Is it really? No way. So you mean to tell me like about 5 or 6 years per each year? Roughly? Ballpark? I had no idea if that's the case. I guess, you know, I guess it kind of makes sense in a way, but that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know why that is there, but I guess considering how quickly they grow, you know, at the same time, craziness. Erna, 100,000 subs for me. That would be amazing. At some point in the near future, I'm sure. We'll have to see. The goal is just to keep creating content and making those progresses and go in there. It's one thing about me that I think most of you guys know is I don't clout chase. I don't do anything like that at all. I'm putting out my content. I'm having a blast. And just doing what I do. And I know eventually, as long as you just keep the focus, keep that, you know, that path, you know, create those friendships, create the things that are going to help you along the way. You know, naturally, those are going to be the things that really kind of help you move along. But just stay the course and make the very best piece of content that you can. And then naturally, you know, you'll look back on what you had and realize that, man, you really put in a whole portfolio worth of goodness there. I mean, I have well over, I don't even know how many at this point. 12 or 1,300 videos. I mean, it's just crazy over the last like 7+ years. 8 years it will be in the fall, which is crazy to think about. And that Costco has the best Supreme pizza. Yes, it's pretty banging. I do like a Supreme, the combo slice, for sure on there. Larry Nguyen, have you tried the new Jack Rue's fries? I sure have. I sure have. Tony says he doesn't need a pizza unless it's stuffed crust. Yeah, it's really a favorite. Whenever they do the stuffed goodies, I have to do it there. Which, by the way, I mean, the epic stuffed crust from Papa John's also is another banging situation. I reviewed that right before it came out national, and it was delicious stuff. And that actually, I can tell you, is pretty much going to be a permanent thing on the menu. I don't see that going away. They've had it for so long. I think since December that's been out, right before the new year, if I'm not mistaken. So if you guys are fans of stuffed crust pizza, let me see a pizza emoji here in the chat. Absolutely. Let me see, going down the line. My chat's jumping. Here we go. Maureen Descatato. Agree, I love Costco pizzas. They're actually known for their pizza, and there's a lot of videos in terms of how they're made and why they charge what they charge for them. And, you know, it is legit. It really is. Okay, forget 100K. Let's get into 1 million. That would be amazing. I mean, amazing. I can visualize it and see it, and that's the first step. Is if you can visualize it and if you can see it, then it's just, you know, working towards putting that out there. For sure. Have you seen I like the Popeyes beignets, but my only complaint with them, and this might be kind of illegitimate given that the kind of food we're discussing here is very nice precursor to set that one up there, Have you seen is that they are way too messy and powdery. That's actually the sign of a very good beignet, if you ask me. If you've ever been to Jazz Cat Kitchen, or at least if you're here on the West Coast down in downtown Disney, it's a little taste of New Orleans because it's legit how they make their beignets. And I have a review on my my Disneyland playlist, which I can't wait to add to eventually once everything gets back to, you know, more normalcy over here. But I did a review with the wifey on their beignets at the Jazz Cat Kitchen, or Jazz Kitchen Cafe. I think it was Jazz Cat, I think it was called. But delicious beignets. I mean, they were loaded with powdered sugar. They were so bomb after they take them from the fryer and they dump them in there and they kind of drain them out really quick. When they put the amount of beignets in that you order, they take a whole ladle of powdered sugar. Like literally they scoop it and it's mounded. They don't just kind of level it off and they dump that into the bag and then they shake it up. So when you open it up and you look in there, and I think I showed that in the video, that was a while back, they're completely covered white. I mean, that is the real deal. I was kind of expecting something like that from Popeyes, but again, it's fast food. It is what it is. But even still, I really wish that would have been something to check out there. Real Kimmy, do you have a job besides YouTube? YouTube is not a job per se. I guess if you're a full-time content creator, that would be an amazing thing to say for sure. But yes, I do have stuff on the side. You have to in there as well that way. I mean, just getting to where I'm at even right now, it's kind of cool to be able to get something from it naturally, but it's not exactly, you know, the livable type of thing, you know, in that regard, especially when you have a lot of other things going on and what you're involved with. You always want to keep trying to do as much as you can. That's why sponsored deals and brand deals and things like that always help, and they boost it, which is kind of nice. So that's really been what I've been focusing on lately, and working with people and doing stuff like that, which is kind of cool. So we got plenty of pizzas right over here. You guys are loving stuffed crusts. I'm getting caught up on this side over here. Good times. You already know what it is. Chevy 5-Speed, what it do? How are you? I'm doing okay. Doing okay. Antonio Jefferson, do you get hit when you make a video? Yes. Especially some of the sponsored ones as well too, which is kind of fun. Lance Wu, how many subs would you need to quit your job and focus full-time on the channel? Wow, you know, that's a loaded question, because if there was maybe 1 or 2 brand deals a month, and it was consistent, and you had that type of relationship that way, I think you could probably get away with maybe even 15,000 subs. I mean, depending, it really kind of comes down to your watch time in terms of how many, you know, ads are shown on your videos. If you're going strictly based upon the stuff that's on YouTube in terms of ad revenue, the longer somebody watches, the more, as long as your videos are at least 8 minutes plus, you'll usually see a little bit more in terms of, you know, follow through that way. But with watch time, you guys may have noticed I pulled my intro out of all my videos, with the exception of the live streaming. And you'll see like a little transition in those things as well too that way. That's actually helped increase my watch time considerably for some reason. I don't know why, but I usually average between, I mean, most of the time videos, you know, are usually viewed between like 40 to 50%. I've been averaging probably in the 60+% in a lot of ranges there, which is surprising. And I don't know if it's just because I did that, or maybe just because I'm hopefully getting better at what I'm doing and people are staying longer for those things. But the goal is to really kind of keep people engaged and to kind of keep those things, those visual cues when you're seeing the cutting and the way the editing goes. It's been a much better start for this year from what I've seen. And really that's the goal, is to improve, you know, every single time you make something, to learn from it and kind of keep growing that way. So whenever I view my year over year, usually whenever every month ends, I look at my analytics from the month prior, and I kind of go by where can I make a little bit of an adjustment to see where things are going. So I'm very much into, you know, looking at my analytics and looking very closely, and obviously working with some people who are like-minded as well too, and really can, you know, fielding things off the wall in terms of stuff like that. It's important to do that, to kind of see what works, what doesn't at the same time. So, you know, making those distinctions and just growing, that's the biggest thing. But first and foremost, as long as you're having fun doing what you're doing and you're having fun putting whatever it is out there to the public, the best, you know, reward that you can get is seeing at least 1 or 2 views initially getting started, and then that snowballs into just people, you know, taking and having it resonate with them. And I love doing that there. So it's just a blast to do. And then obviously to interact with you guys on live streaming, connecting with you is so important to do, especially as things get bigger and bigger and a lot of bigger things are happening. These are the times to kind of spend, so that way we can have this one-on-one time, that face-to-face time, because the generically putting back comments is fine. You know, believe me, I have a lot of fun doing that, even though I haven't done it too much this last month, because I'm focusing more on trying to talk to you guys, which I like to do. And I figured all of you guys who are out there who really like what I do are going to be here on these streams, or at least watch those replays and that type of thing as well. So I don't care what they say about 60% or more of people that watch your videos typically are not subscribed to your channel. Usually the people who are subscribed don't watch as much. I kind of feel that's reversed from me, because I think I have a pretty strong community, and you guys definitely let me know if what I'm doing works, and that's a cool thing there. So I dig it. I definitely dig it. So very long-winded way to answer that question for you, Lance. I hope that makes some sense for you. Lance says, I watch all of your videos completely. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like I said, in making some minor adjustments and changes, they really go a long way, and I've seen a lot of my watch time literally go through the roof in terms of what I started with, in terms of like the last few years, and now what it is now. I love being over that 50 to 60% mark. I've never seen it before, and that's the thing that's kind of cool. So I'm really excited. It means that people are kind of like they're engaging with what they're seeing, and what I'm saying is being delivered in a way that they're enjoying, and then it's obviously, you know, that resonates and translates. So, you know, as much as I try and get to that 8-minute mark on occasion to do what I need to do, I'm not going to try and keep you just for the length of time just because I'm trying to get an ad in there. I'm not that type of person. If I'm somewhat close to that and I can see where organically that makes sense, I'll do that maybe. But 9 times out of 10, if it's short 8 minutes, it's short 8 minutes. You know, I would rather have you guys watch my videos 50 to 60% of the video under 8 minutes, as opposed to just putting in filler and things that are just like whatever because I'm trying to get to 8 minutes. That's not something that I want to do. And hopefully you guys understand that and you can appreciate that viewpoint, because like I said, time is precious. I want to give you quality content. That's why I call it high quality foodie features. And I'm not trying to keep you any longer just because I'm trying to hit the magic 8-minute mark for things like that. So if you guys agree with that, give me a thumbs up here in the chat. Right there, because I'm always thinking about what I do with my viewers in mind, and naturally how I would feel if I'm watching something. So if something feels overly stretched out, I mean, I can only talk about a piece of pizza or a hamburger for so long for what it is. So you already know what it is with that. So let's see here. Let's see. Mr. Used Chinese food. Yes, I have actually been there way back in Rancho, Annette. You already know. Oh, okay, it's catching up over here. My chat is almost... Okay, there we go. I'm glad you don't use filler. Review buzz unwatchable. Is filler hitting 10 minutes plus? Hey, you know what? If you're a content creator and if that's what you want to put out there and you're happy doing with it, that's just my opinion. I'm only speaking from my own point of view. But I'm not going to keep you any longer than I feel as necessary to talk about a particular food item, unless there's something that just has to be explained in a certain way that happens to be coming over that. Because I got to be honest with you guys. I'm going to give you a little secret here. When I'm filming my content, I'm just going off of what I'm thinking in my head is going to be what I want to talk about with this. And the experience that I have and what I'm filming is just as much a new experience every single time. So I'm not thinking in my head, what do I have to say to get to the 8-minute mark or 10-minute mark plus right here, just to make sure I can get that in there. It just doesn't work like that. You can only talk about something for so long in such a way that I think, unless you're doing something completely outrageous or engaging with it, I just don't see it. I just don't see doing that. That's just me though. Like I said, everybody's different. So, you know, don't hate me if you feel like you have an opinion that's different. I'm just giving you my viewpoint there. Let's see. John Turner, ABC interview. My click rate is 9.9, but viewership is low. Maybe changing up the content slightly or just the duration of it there. And actually having a banging thumbnail, that's always a nice start. There are going to be those who have hardly any thumbnail situation going on that looks amazing, but they still somehow get crazy views. It could be because they have just a huge subscriber base and people are going to click on whatever it is. But I pride myself on really putting out, I love making thumbnails. I love making them pop. I love making them look strong. I love making it something that as you're scrolling through, you're going to be like, oh, what is this? So that's rule number one. I love to do that. You want to see some banging thumbnails? Take a look at Trav Tries, actually. He's been doing some really, really good stuff where visually it's just explosive, almost comic-like, the way that it looks. So I'm a fan of that stuff there. Anything to kind of increase and engage is really, really awesome. There's some great creators out there doing it big, and that's really the first step, is getting that billboard up to get somebody to your content. And naturally, when you get them into your content, then blow them away with what you can do and what you're trying to showcase there. So I'm telling you. ScottRush.com, got to stay for that outro. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Larry, are you a pizza person or a chicken person? I would say pizza. I was just having this talk with my wife actually the other day, because after bringing back that pizza for the Little Caesars earlier in the week, I was like, you know what? I love pizza. I mean, I love pizza. It's just something so delicious to me. So definitely a fan. Definitely a fan. Let's see. Erna, how can anyone ever hate me? I appreciate that, Erna. I'm sure there are a few out there who do, but believe me, it's okay. You're not going to be a fan. Everyone's not going to be your fan, so to speak there. But you guys are my familia at the same time. Let's see. Drew's Food Reviews. You need to explain the situation. I appreciate you too, Annette. I appreciate all of you guys here right now. You already know. Lance, haircut looks good. Wasn't a fan of the long hair. Yeah, neither was I after a while. Believe me, I was so glad to get this all cleaned up and get back to normal. Didn't mean to scare anybody with the review from Pizza Hut. Naturally, I wish I could have maybe got myself cleaned up before I did that, but it was okay. It looked all right there, but even still. The Jackson Roy Kirk thumbnail is the key. I agree. You got to get somebody, you got to have a billboard to really showcase what you're going to get into. And I'm telling you, there are some that do very, very well with that. Some that I don't know how they can get crazy views like they do, considering what it is, but it is what it is. Let's see. John trying to interview. I coach interview techniques. There you go. There you go. It's all about recognizing those things that really stand out. But the first point of contact is getting that demeanor and getting that billboard up so people can kind of get visually in there. It's like you can see the most beautiful woman in the world, that type of thing, and then you can finally, you know, talk to her and see what's going on and realize that there's really nothing going on there, you know, maybe mentally, where you kind of have that connection. So you got to have a combination of that there. So, you know, have the billboard to get somebody to get over to you. And then, you know, naturally, depending upon, you know, what you think, that type of thing. And then obviously, if you're good at what you do, you know, and just continually improve, eventually those things the synergy begins to happen. And the best point is when you have banging thumbnails and then you have awesome content to go with it, or at least awesome in your mind, because you're trying to put out the very best that you can. If anything, you're going to learn from it. And if you fail, that's the first step towards success. So the goal is to always fail bigger, the more bigger that you get. I can't remember where I heard that once. It's like when you get up to like really, really extreme fame and then you fail at something, you learn something so amazing from that when you go back and fix it, it becomes that much grander for you. So you have to fail to succeed. Nobody is 100% out the gate. People always make mistakes. So the goal is to really, you know, keep learning from those mistakes, if anything. All right, last couple of things, because I can't believe we are well past the 9 o'clock hour here already, and I'm realizing how hungry that I am right now. This is nuts. Time has gone by really quick here, guys. Hang on. Drew, you should go for the mullet look with the beard next. Oh, man. You know, my wife is so glad when I got this haircut, Drew. I got to tell you, it's not even funny. I don't know who she was living with this last year. You know, like I said, I really thank my doppelganger for holding down the channel for me, but Daddy's home now, and now I'm back to normal. And, you know, I really appreciate the work that Ian K put out, you know, this last year, but it's time to move on and elevate. You already know what it is. So shout outs to Mr. Jimmy. You already know what it is. Thank you so much for jumping on, my friend. Nolan Show, love your content. Thank you so much. Anyone you want to collab with, very cool. It'd be amazing to see you do Joey's World Tour. You know, any of the peeps from the beginning days. I remember, you know, Joey, I've actually collabed with in the past. I would definitely be up for doing that again. There's a lot of amazing content creators out there. It's just having a plan and having an idea of what it is that we can do. You know, I get a lot of emails and a lot of things about wanting to do that, but I don't hear about what it is that you'd like to do. And I'm trying to think about what could we do while I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do at the same time. So it's hard. It's really just more of a scheduling thing. So, you know, Good Mythical Morning. I'd love to see some of these big ones as well, too. That would be amazing to do. But naturally, all of my day ones, too. Joey's a great guy. Of course, you know, definitely in there. Even Dame down the road. I mean, who knows, you know, for all these things. So really, really fun stuff there for people that I've known in the past there. Ken Dama, KVD Productions TV, you know, of course. You know, the ones who are really elevating the game and really moving the needle. It's always fun to see that. I mean, if anything there. So you're just to see where things were maybe a few years ago and where things are now. It's awesome when you think about the growth and the patterns of growth that you've seen and some of the content that's come out there. So good times, definitely good times. Annette Cervantes, what's for dinner? That's a good question. I got to see what the wifey's up for right now, because it is definitely, she's been gone all day. So I'm going to talk to her right now about that. And yes, Luke, Dame has a Netflix show dropping this month. That's right. Paul, Carbonella, Ian, how you doing? It's great to see you guys. Great to see you guys. So you guys are going to get that grassroots effort to get the Peep This Out meal going, right? Peep this meal out. We have to call it something. Maybe it could be that. Peep this meal. Peep this meal out. I'll get the peep this meal out, please. Oh, we'll have to figure something out with that there. But I appreciate that, guys. You guys are all amazing. I'm sorry if I went off on a little bit of a tangent on a soapbox here, but I have so much fun discussing the content here on YouTube, and naturally creating my own stuff is always such a blast to do. And all of you guys who are doing it big also, it's a matter of just really just having as much fun as you can, producing what you can. And the most important thing also, and probably something you're probably reading between the lines, try not to clout chase. Try not to just put something out because it's something maybe hot. I mean, if you're naturally doing it, do it. But it's always fun to see when you see like something kind of huge come out and people who you've never seen produce content for this want to do that as well, which is crazy to do. And I think we all did that at some point, right? But naturally, if you're consistent with it and you're putting out that content that people like, and then people are going to see that and it's going to resonate. So at the same time, Johnny, did you change after becoming a famous YouTuber? I don't think I'm a famous YouTuber, Johnny, honestly. But it's nice to see my content mixed in with everybody else's whenever I see stuff online, which is kind of fun at the same time. So good times indeed. Let's see here. The Frosty meal. Stay frosty. There you go, from Luke Johnson, the Stay Frosty meal. You know, maybe a little bit more of a trademark issue with Wendy's, though. So I don't think we can use the Stay Frosty with that. Larry Nguyen, I think I skipped your comment. Again, did I? There's so much to watch here, Larry. Hang on. Will you go to Vegas to try the Bucknell buffet? I would love to get to Vegas, actually, and just go to any buffet, to be honest. Caesar's Palace was pretty banging the last time that I went there. That was a while back. But I would love to do that. I would. Drew, peep this out. I'll have a triple quarter pounder McNugget and a mac sauce. There you go. There you go. That's awesome. We still got to get an official name, though, Drew. That's it. And again, shout outs to Ziggy right there. Very happy birthday to that little one. And shout outs to each and every one of you guys. Like I always say, you have choices when it comes to content here on YouTube. And I appreciate that greatly. Johnny, you're famous because I only have a couple of subscribers and you have 33,000. You know, I appreciate that. But Johnny, even though you've got a couple of subscribers on there, that's the beginning. Because the good thing about every creator on YouTube is that we all start off with a donut. Literally, not just because it's National Donut Day. We all start off with 0. And then after our family subscribes, after the first maybe 10 or 15 subscribers that are just our own close family and friends usually, then it gets real. Then you can kind of see what you really are putting in there. And if you're really putting it out and you're putting in that time, putting in the energy, putting in the work for it, the universe has no choice but to give it back to you in some way, shape, or form, no matter how it is. Everyone's got their own schedule with these things. So you never know what's going to happen. But just stay the course, create the best content you can. Don't think about what somebody else has down the road. Always focus on your lane, because there's a reason why things happen the way that they do. Okay, there's a reason for it. Trust me, I'm trying to stay that course myself sometimes and realize what that is. Yes, Scott, Fast Food Pit Stops is posting new videos again. I know. I've been waiting to take a look at his pepperoni and cheese stuffed crust pizza review, so I can't wait to check and see what he's got going on there with that. For sure. Luis, super chat donation at the very end. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it greatly. I really, really do. Thank you so much. You guys are official sponsors of the channel for the stream. As always, I create the times for you as much as I can here, and naturally multiple times every single week. And I have a blast doing it for you guys. And I'm glad you guys are digging it, especially here on live stream to connect. It's always fun. Johnny, how do I create a famous YouTube channel when my vids are private? You got to make them public, my friend, and just put them out there. Trial by fire. You're not going to like what you put out initially. Look at my very first review. Look at my first few videos, and then compare to what it is now. You're going to grow. You're going to learn. Trust me. You just got to put it out there and see what happens. The worst thing you can do is just kind of analysis by paralysis. So paralysis by analysis is one thing. You can't always keep thinking about it. You got to put it out there. But yes, good times, good times. Larry Nguyen, please don't hate me. I don't hate you. Trust me. I love you guys. I appreciate it greatly there. And Lance, I haven't been into gaming as of late. Literally, I've been very busy with a lot of other things, but I do have all my stuff to go, ready to go once I do want to dip into it. I did notice that the new Ghosts and Goblins game is back out. Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection, which just came out for PS4 and Xbox One, thankfully. So that'll be something I'll probably invest in to get. I'm excited about that. Good times indeed. And the last couple here, Fast Food Pit Stops, looks like nice from Erna. He's a good channel, definitely a good channel. You already know Justin's doing it up. Let's see, have you seen? I recently had 2 of Papa John's Parmesan crusted papadillas for dinner, and Philly cheesesteak was the one, and Buffalo Ranch chicken one. Cool, pretty good. I thought at least the breading was. You know, they're really, really good stuff on there, guys. And just so you know, especially with Papa John's, that is a very nice little upgrade of their papadilla action. Good times whatsoever. I mean, really good times in general, I should say. Not so much whatsoever. Carl's Jr., the bacon Swiss ham breaded chicken sandwich, way overpriced for what that was. I remember the Church's chicken Texas sheet cake cup. Good times, of course. The BTS meal. And guys, you have a lot of content here on the channel. And of course, Little Caesars pepperoni and cheese stuffed crust pizza action in effect there. So good times indeed. Johnny, what do you do for fun when you're not content creating? Exercising, most likely, getting out and getting a coffee, spending some time with the wifey whenever I can, and just trying to just, catch up on content late at night whenever I can as well, and always planning what's next. And there's always something next, believe me. So good times, good times. Johnny, do you offer YouTube consulting? I don't. Maybe I should. I've actually been told that by a few people in my family, actually. I should probably do something along those lines. Maybe create a course or something like that. Who knows? Well, a lot of this stuff you guys probably have heard a million times, but who knows? Maybe if it's coming from me in a different way. Who knows? We'll have to see. All right, Erna, last one here. Can you review Truly Punch alcoholic seltzer? Haven't made any decision on doing alcoholic drinks. But if I do, it may be something on a side note here on a live stream. I don't know about the actual regular content on my channel. We'll have to see there as well. Don't forget to stay frosty this weekend. Yes, you do as well, Drew. You already know what it is. I appreciate that, Johnny. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shout outs to each and every one of you guys. Let me jump out over here. And guys, this has been a blast tonight. And again, thank you so much for joining me. The stream is available this coming Sunday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're catching this anytime after that on Sunday, you're watching it right now. And I appreciate you making it all the way to the very end of this live stream because watch time is key. So I appreciate that greatly. Shout outs to all the amazing mods here and all the amazing content creators who have made themselves known. Trap Tries, Drew's Food Reviews in effect here as well. Haven't seen Critical Eats Japan. I know that, once in a while they'd like to jump in here. Jackie Hero Food Reviews as well. Snack King Cole, some of the review crew from Dayton Live. You already know what it is. But again, Trap Tries, Drew, I appreciate you guys jumping in here. Annette Cervantes, Mr. Jimmy, Mi Familia, all the amazing peeps in the house right now. Please give yourselves a round of applause. I appreciate you being here. And again, for all of you amazing subscribers and sponsors of the channel down below, you guys definitely make the world go round, and I appreciate that greatly there. Let's see here. Last couple of things before I jump on over. Johnny, sell a billboard for a YouTube channel in Miami. Maybe try advertising like that. I've actually considered that. It's funny that you say that, Johnny. That would be something to do. So we'll have to see about that for sure. And if Jay Nepper is watching right now, his outro is coming up here in just a second. So let me jump back on in here. Michael Domeyer, thanks so much for jumping on. It's getting a little bit heated for the summertime naturally. So the weather's getting better for you, I'm sure, back east. So I appreciate you guys for being on here right now. To all the amazing peeps who have made my channel your focus for the last hour or so, or however long you've jumped in here, thank you so much for doing that. The next piece of content, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Saturday on June 5th here. You guys have something to look forward to. It's pretty much going to be Jack weekend, just so you guys know. I've let the cat out of the bag with that. So enjoy tomorrow's review and definitely enjoy Monday's review as well. And we'll see if I'm going to push something out on Tuesday. I may push something maybe a day out just to kind of give myself a little bit of a buffer. But there's pretty much some stuff in the can pretty much for this week already. So this should be a lot of fun here. But guys, have an amazing weekend. Whatever you do, do it safely. Enjoy the weather. We're halfway out into the year already, which is crazy. We didn't talk about the UFO report coming out later on in June. We'll see what happens naturally there, but I'm excited to hear what's going to happen with all of that. I've been following that stuff very closely. If you guys listen to Joe Rogan, Jeremy Corbell, and George Knapp and all that stuff on there's a 3-hour podcast that I had on while I was editing last night in the background listening to, which is really awesome. So good times indeed right there. So guys, with that, let me jump on over here as well, and we'll close it out. And with that, guys, it's June 4th. Unbelievable. Like I said, it's crazy. The year is half over right now. And again, thank you so much for joining me here tonight. It's Ian K officially closing the live stream out. And like I always say, I've got brand new content every single week here on my channel, including live streaming. So while you stay tuned for the next review coming real soon, in the meantime, stay frosty. Good times, everybody. Thanks so much for jumping on. We'll talk about the UFOs next week. And we'll see if anything comes out between now and that time. Hopefully we'll see what happens reporting-wise, right? So we'll have to see what it is. So with that, if Jay Nepper is watching, if he's catching it on the replay, I appreciate him very much for, I should say, suggesting the latter part of the outro. So Carl Broussard, you take care as well. Erna, you take care. Everybody is jumping in over here. My chat's going crazy for some reason at the end. I'm going to try and chat it up as much as I can before this video times out, or the stream times out, I should say. So I'll try and chat as much as I can for you guys. But have an amazing weekend, and I will definitely talk to you soon. And with that, peace. I'm out.